Hello, we're going to be starting in about 5 minutes. So if you are watching the replay, please skip ahead. You look after those till we start.
You put the talk on the front.
Just about to start when you're ready. There might not be a seat for everybody, so please stand. But if you need to sit, there are a few seats here.
You give my keys to everybody.
Yeah. Do you want one? Yeah.
Okay, let me get to the microphone. Can you move your chair over?
Over there.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone. I'm Leanne Peters. My husband Corey, who's over there, and we welcome you to Harmony on High Street in Campbell Town. Thank you for joining us today for this pencil drawing and mixed media exhibition featuring the spectacular works by Launceston artist Richard Klekociuk. Oh, I don't know, the family doesn't agree.
Klekociuk.
Klekociuk?
You tell
Please?
Klekociuk.
Klekociuk?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been practicing all year. I still got it wrong. Sorry. It's the exhibition's called Treasured, a special exhibition of drawings. It is always wonderful to hang high calibre artworks like Richard's. The high standard of work is felt as you walk into the room and as you look closely at the pieces. My personal favourite is the spooky looking one in the Focus Gallery over there, if you haven't been in there yet, called Awakening, Ralph's Falls Tracks. I like it because it is different, it has character and a darker side which makes me curious and interested. Richard works very hard to produce his work full time, and we are exceptionally fortunate today that he has offered a lucky door prize for this opening event. We will draw this prize at the end of our speech, so stay tuned. I'd now like to introduce you to Richard. I can hold it for you. Yeah.
Thanks everybody for coming. The exhibition is about moments. We all have moments, especially when we're out in the bush or we're walking around somewhere. It doesn't have to be a sunrise, but if it's a sunrise or a sunset or a big wave coming over the beach, there's a certain moment within that time frame that gets you. It may be the whole sunrise to some people, but there's a certain point where the light's just right. Something happens and you're affected by it. And this is the exhibition's theme for me, treasured moments out in the bush. I remember being out in the bush last year and the year before. This is 2 years' worth of work. And I was by myself. And there was no one else. There was no animals, there were no birds, no flies, there was nothing. It was very early in the morning, and this is up the Liffey. And all of a sudden, I actually was very naughty. I went off track, and I went through the bush and decided I'd explore part of the river, which I hadn't been there before, for example. And I got there and got through the trees, so I was following, I could hear the water naturally, but I got out there, and all of a sudden I turned around, and there's a river bend, and the sun's coming through, and we're talking about a frosty morning, so it was minus, so it was pretty chilly. I had my mittens on, my beanie, everything, and I was very warm, and the sun came around the corner, and just for that 1 second, it bounced off the trees, and the trees were alight with light, and everything else around it was dull green, olive grey, everything, everything depressing, yet this one area, and just for those few seconds, I almost felt warm. It was a warm light on a very cold day. And that was a moment for me, and that picture's in there, in the gallery that you'll see. This one, for example, is a moment, but it's not a moment that you think. Val and I were up at Deloraine the other year and walking, and I came across all these leaves on the road, and I just stood there, but I wasn't there. I was in New Norfolk, and I was 9, and I was wading through the leaves, and the smell and the light and the colour, and you'll read what I said. I don't want to talk too much, I get too upset, but read what I said about that, because that was a moment in time, it had nothing to do with the place, yet I loved the place, it was, but it brought back the memory hit me. Like being knocked over by a truck. It was just bang, and I was taken away. I just stood there, and I walked around a bit, and I just happened to be in a happy place, but it wasn't Deloraine. But I do love Deloraine, by the way. I go there often. It was really good. So that was a moment. Leanne's favourite, the Awakening, was a fairly tragic start. I fell in the creek. I fell badly in the creek, 20 metres from a 90-metre drop. And I got out of the creek, Val was a smart lady. She was on the path. But I wasn't on the path. I had to go off-road, basically. I pulled myself out literally by us. There was a tree about that thick. And it wasn't for that tree, I don't know how I would have got out. But I got out up the bank and I staggered back up and I was feeling so unwell. And we decided that I'd keep walking because I was warm. And I knew if I stopped, I mightn't feel so good. I mightn't be able to walk back to the car. So we did the circuit walk and I just went round the corner up this hill, bang! This light came over the hill. It wasn't 6 o'clock in the morning. It was more like 11 o'clock in the morning. And everything else was dark around it. And the whole area was sepia, absolutely sepia. And all of a sudden there's this sun. And it just actually gave me the spirit to walk on, to move up the hill and head on back to the car, have lunch, and then taken to emergency care at the end of the day. But that was just an experience in the middle of the day, just that, again, with that light coming over and hitting me. Other ones too, there's a place on Bruny Island which is classified where it is. I can't tell you. But I've been there a few times and that's my long panorama. It's in the focus gallery. And you go down to the creek and the whole floor is covered in tiny leaves. Millions of leaves all year round. There's little bits that break off as well, fall down. And it's full of moss. And the moss is absolutely luminous green. And when the place is in shadow and you get little bits of light coming through, it sparkles, it comes up at you. It's just amazing. And if you believe in fairies in the garden, this is where they live. I get transfixed when I stand there. And one day I was there at my log, as I call it, and I've done several drawings of this place at various times of the year. But the light was coming over the hill, bouncing down off the log and back up the valley again. And it was a green light. And it was just one of those experiences that I had to do. And then just for that split second, it all was revealed. And then the sun moved off and it changed again. So it's a matter of having to be there and see it and interpret it. Say to yourself, well, I'm lucky, I'm here. By the way, there was nothing in there. There was nobody, again, no noise, no sound, no bird, nothing. I don't know whether I repel these things by going into the bush, but it was just a moment to savour before I then continued my walk up the valley and back out up the hill again. It's just one of those special moments that only I could share with myself. And the only way I could relate to that to anybody else is to draw it later on, which I did. Thank goodness I had my phone with me to take plenty of photos as I go. But that's just, again, is a moment. And down on South Bruny, down at Freshwater Creek, there's a piece there as well. It's, again, this golden mellow light which bounces through this beautiful little creek which meanders through. And now this place is full of birds and various other insects and so forth. And so, again, a lovely place to go. But there was just a moment again when the light was right and I turned around, I looked, I got it, and I felt it. And another place I'll just mention briefly, the northeast coast, is the Tin Dragon, the trail of the Tin Dragon, which was tin mining in the late 1800s in the northeast of Tasmania. And the sluices and the trails are still there. And it's just an absolute magic place to go to because of the forest itself. But the forest is reclaiming all that the Chinese had dug out to bring the fresh water down when they were mining the tin. And it's I know something about it. You think there's spirits there. It's the light coming through the forest and coming down these trenches. And you walk up one of the marks that the Chinese dug out for the water to come down. You actually walk it as a trail. It's just marvellous. And if you haven't been up near Branksome and stayed at the Tin Dragon cottages up there, who had their own hydro, everything's self-sufficient, and it's right on the banks of the Ringarooma River, where this little drawing comes from as well. It's just a magic place to go to, and where history and landscape have come together. And in fact, I think even though the landscape is taking it back over, there's some harmony I think the Chinese knew what they were doing. They did not abuse the landscape in any way, shape or form. And they extracted their tin as well, and further up the top, they've got the Bryce's trail goes through to Ringarooma, where they dug over 30 kilometres it's about 4 metres deep to bring water down as well. And it's just an amazing piece of engineering. It's still there too. And the place is full of fungi. So anyone who's interested in fungi, it's the place to go. It's just absolutely marvellous. As Val and I found out, we spent some time up there a couple of years ago collecting photos of fungi. So that's another spot which is dear to me, and that's a historical moment. If you go into a place where there's history, you often can feel it if you really let yourself stay and immerse yourself into the place. But a good thing to do, of course, is to read the history before you go. You understand it even more when you're there as well. Yeah, that's a little preview. If you want to ask me any questions about my work later on when you're wandering around, please do. But there are statements there which sort of indicate why I did it as well, because it's important. I don't do pictures because they're pictures. I do pictures because they relate to me. So these are special moments. Some of them may be a lot more visually engaging than others, but when you do something personal, it's what you see, and what you see may be something different altogether. This is good. That's what art's all about.
Thank you, Richard. Very good. Yeah. Very nice. So I'm just going to ask Richard a few questions, and I want to prepare you for some questions. If you have any, later. Soon? Shortly? Have a think. First of all, it seems to me like light is really important to your work. So what is it about light that you want to portray in your artworks that's important to you? Like, is it about the light and the dark, like the contrast, or is there something striking about bringing the light into your work? What is it about light and your art?
Light brings life. It brings it to life. So without light, we haven't got any definition of what we're looking at. Light brings character, so it reveals what's going on. So a particular source of light will reveal probably as much as you're going to see about a spot at once. It hits it, and then on a cloudy day, for example, the colours can be much stronger when you're taking photographs, but the atmosphere itself it's fairly mundane. As soon as you get the light piercing through something, all of a sudden parts of what you're looking at come alive. So to me, that's what light does. I love the shadows it creates as well, but I'm more interested in the impact that direct light has on something.
Very good, thank you. So what's it been like as a professional full-time artist getting to this point in your career? So what have been the ups and the downs for you looking back from now to when you started?
I think, as I'll tell people on my free workshop coming up next Saturday, you have to have an inquiring mind. And if you have an inquiring mind, you just ask questions about things and you keep going. I think I learned from my parents being stoic. Don't give up. Push yourself. Believe in what you do. I've had a lot of negatives in my life with my work because I'm a coloured pencil artist. The mainstream don't like it. They think it's something that kids do. And I keep telling them, kids start with paint first before they start with pencils. They use finger paint, so what's the big deal, you know? But it's attitudes. It's something that's gone on in the art groups that I've been in over the years, and there's a lot of hierarchical stuff that goes on. But I keep saying to people myself, as I told my students, if you believe in something, do it. Art is not about selling, it's not about making money, it's about process. You do the process, you enjoy the process, and after you've done the process, the product is the bonus. And if you want to put the product in the public domain, be prepared for criticism. And if you can't take criticism, don't put it out in the public domain. Just do it for yourself. Keep it in your backyard or in your own room. But the thing is, if you want to share it, don't be afraid to share it. If people don't like it, they'll move on. That's fine. Don't make it your day job. I'm lucky. I'm a retired teacher. I'm okay with that. But my art does support itself. I must admit, it's good. It's been good for me, but it's been good for me more than anything else that has kept me going. And it's given me something to do, something to focus on. And the joy of doing workshops with people still is great. It's something I enjoy. But I think people, if you want to pick something to do, pick something that, first of all, you like to do. Don't ask people what you want them to do. It's one of those things that I think you hold the key to all your problems inside your answer. It's what you are prepared, and the word brave comes into it. You've got to be brave. And if you really believe in something, just do it. Don't worry about what people say, first of all, and then let it grow. Let's see what happens. And if you like something, do your research. You don't have to Google everything, but just do your research and look for variety, look for different ways, and find something that you enjoy. And if you actually enjoy it, you're going to be so much happier within yourself.
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Richard. So you've been an artist for a long time now. How do you stay motivated to keep creating?
I just keep looking at stuff. I keep, as Val will tell you, I take lots of random photos, very random. There could be anything, because you take a photo today that you think, oh yeah, I like that, and two or 3 weeks later, where was that photo I took? Geez, I like that. And you do a few drawings of it, and you go back and visit that place, and you think, now I didn't see that there before, or I didn't see that. So I've learned from past experiences, whenever you visit something, don't stop at 100 photos. 1,000 maybe, but don't stop at 100. Take shots, because in these days, I just haven't got the time or the physical energy to sit and draw for hours outside. So I just take random shots as I go, but I just don't draw anything. This is a collection. This is a meaningful theme. I like themes to work on. I'm currently working on a different theme altogether, which I won't tell you about, because that's for later. But again, that's been triggered by something that's happened that's led me on to somewhere else. So be flexible, be inquiring, be curious. And if you are, you're going to enjoy what you do, and you're going to keep yourself motivated. I can't do the same thing. I must admit, I know some of my compatriots do the same thing year after year after year after year after year. And they just seem to want to churn it out. So I call that supermarket art. But if they're happy to do that, if it keeps them really happy, that's fine. But it wouldn't keep me happy. I just like sometimes just to run off on a different tangent, just because I can, for no other reason.
Very good. Thank you, Richard. Okay, now's your opportunity to ask any questions. Are there any questions out there for Richard?
How do you capture such depth in your images? Like, they just draw me so far.
Taking lots of photos of one thing, close, near and far, that's how I talk about setting composition up. So recording a lot and going have a look, and as someone will tell you, bringing things home. And I've got boxes of stuff in and outside the studio, and round the back and in cupboards and so forth that I collect, because it enables me to study it even more. And I think to get to know it, mind you, this is not in national parks or on reserves, by the way. Where I legally can, I always have a plastic bag in my pocket when I go walking, always, especially on beaches. But in the bush, collecting particular leaves or looking at bark on trees and things like that. You can record things, yes, with the camera, naturally, or you can draw them, but sometimes you've got to bring stuff home to look at it, because I just did a drawing on sea creatures and bits and pieces of kelp, but I had them with me. So, and I needed to have them with me to be able to look again and look again, because the mind can take so much in when you look at it, but you need time to process. So having it to refer back to is great.
Thank you.
Good question. Oh, we'll come back to you in a second. Yes?
Mine's a quick one.
Yeah.
I've noticed looking at a lot of your work that that wasn't it. That you say that they're mixed media, and I'd just like to know what are the mixed media?
Well,
by the way, my absolutely favourite one is the large awakenings in it's just a knockout. But I'm just interested to know what type of mixed media.
Look, I started using wax-based and oil-based pencils, fine liner pens as well, and acrylic paint pens. And the acrylic paint pens are interesting because I've got a couple of pencils where the white is really strong, dominant. But I've found with the fine line paint pens, I can do highlights on water, for example, or highlights on light over the top of everything else as the last course of medium that I work with. So I find using all these together, it just, to me, gives me more flexibility. And the oil pastel I've been using, straight oil pastel, but wax oil pastels as well. And they're even better because I can actually draw over those as well. So my pencils allow me to draw over all of those things as well. So it's just, again, being curious and finding out. I used to draw purely in pastel as well and fine liner pens as well, but I found bringing them together, and I've tried, acrylic paint pens are great. They're really good, like surf paints are really great, which happen to be over here. They're really great to work with. The colours are really gutsy and bold, but they don't necessarily suit the Tasmanian landscape. They're not cool temperate as much, but they're good to work with. It's one of those things that unless you've tried them out, you'll never know what they can do. And they're not to be necessarily, one art medium is necessarily not for its own use. It can be paired up, it can be produced with other mediums. You try different mediums altogether, they work really well.
Thank you. Okay, in the front.
I've seen some leaves in the studio. Do you use them for your drawing?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, leaves are interesting. It's a good question, Ed, because when you take a leaf home, it changes. And then you can draw it several times, because after the months it starts, it's dying, it's on its way out, but it will change colour. And another thing I do with that, when the change of colour is because it's changing over the months, I'll photograph these things. So I've got a record what it looked like 2 months ago before it starts to break up. So it's really handy to record what you bring home, not just when you bring it home, but after a month or two, and watch the change, because things do change.
Very good. Any other questions? Anyone? No? Okay, well, if you're interested in any of Richard's artworks, please see Corey or myself, and we do have a few others that aren't hung at the moment, and some unframed works, so just let us know if you'd like to see any. Please stay around, browse further, chat with Richard, and we'll have some scones and cream and refreshments available here shortly. This exhibition is open every day 9 to 5 until Wednesday the 1st of April, so please let your friends and family know. Also, Richard is hosting a free workshop next Saturday, which I think is almost full, or have we got a few spots left? There's a few spots left for that, so just let us know if you'd like more information. What time is it?
10:30 to 2:30.
10:30 to 2:30 next Saturday.
Everything's supplied, all materials are supplied. It's celebrating my 40 years of using coloured pencil. It's here, yeah. You can come in any time during the day, if you like.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for coming today, and thank you to those watching online. Congratulations, Richard, on creating these artworks and collating them together to form this exhibition. We are thrilled, Corey and I, to be representing your work at Harmony on High Street. So thanks very much and well done. Congratulations. Okay, so we have a lucky door prize to draw, and I just want to check, has anybody not got a ticket? So everyone has a ticket. If you do have a ticket, you did very well. We need to grab those tickets and pop them into this bowl, please. Corey will do that. So have your ticket handy. So before we do that, did you want to talk about this piece, Richard?
The light in the Ringarooma Valley is often white. But on this occasion, it was really, again, going back to yellow. And when Val and I were staying up at Tin Dragon Cottages the other year, I did one drawing's already in there of the afternoon on the river when everything just went glass. And it was just this beautiful... the only thing I could hear was cows. There were cows mooing quietly, and I thought, oh, how nice. It's just, it's very rural, very northeast. And I walked down past the river, and there was a whole lot of mushrooms down through here. And I just saw the corner of the river, and again, this late afternoon light was banging its way through and just hitting those trees. And I thought, well, if I was feeling stressed and so forth, I could stare at that little picture for a while and it would calm me down. So that's the reason I did it. And I just thought, well, it'd be nice to share with somebody. So I'm happy for somebody to take this home today as well. It's framed under art glass, like all my work is, in, of course, Tasmanian oak as well.
Beautiful. Thanks, Richard. Okay, so if the person who is drawn is not present, we're going to draw another person. So we want the person to be here. So just in case we pull one and someone's not here. So drum roll. Do you want me to pick it while you hold it? Okay, so let's see if this person's here. Oh, that's number 1, but I think I put that aside, didn't I? Did someone have number 1, 001? Yeah, I did put number 1 aside, so that's a dud. Just make sure no one's got number 1. I'm pretty sure I grabbed number 1 as an example. Yeah, okay, so we'll try a second attempt. Number 3. Congratulations.
Oh, no, I didn't rig it. I had nothing to do with it.
I think we'd be more than happy for somebody else.
He can. I'm sure your grandfather could draw you another one.
Yeah.
Would you?
I'll give him another.
All right. Oh.
I will.
Number 4. Oh, well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, Karen.
Oh, thank you very much. And I've got, as soon as you said about the cows, my grandfather lived in Scottsdale and further out, but he was he used to test the milk. That was his job. And I can remember one time going with him, probably somewhere around there with the cows, and sticking my finger in the cream, But that was his job. He was a tester, so it reminded me of that. So that's actually really special when you said about the cows.
That's lovely.
Great,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Do you want your water over there?
Yes.
Thank you.
So hopefully you're a good